What is going on? I am Zedmont. Sneak peek time. That is how we have 2,800 keys, 29 million upgrade tokens. This is the dev build. We're going to go through a quick sneak peek, more of a teaser really for Warships Season 13. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'm going to tell you right away, we have two new troops. That's right, we've got these guys, the Clone Rifleman. Then if we scroll along, Dr. Vitamin, who you've just had, moving further along, the cryo bombardier, which you've played with in the past. The engineer, this is a new engineer that you have not played with. It has been upgraded. He has better range. He has been buffed. That is a good thing because last time he was not super duper amazing. Nonetheless, we've also got lazortrons here in the tech tree. We've got rocket choppas. Those are considered prototypes now, I suppose. Also, the heavy choppas. Keeping on going, boom, the incinerator. Now, spoiler alert, the incinerator is not as awesome as I had hoped. One thing to be aware of, if somehow you manage to get all the way to the incinerator without upgrading your landing crafts way back here, which is not going to happen, let's be honest. These incinerators have a unit size of 21. They are massive, so you need to get bigger landing crafts because, as you can see, these landing crafts only have a troop capacity of 14. Tiny, non-issue, but I figured I'd point it out just in case someone decides they're going to try and take this entire season on without upgrading their landing crafts. Please don't do that. Anyways, that is the starters. Let's get in, have a look at this troop. This is the Clone Rifleman. Now, they are going to be very neat, very interesting. Let's just show you briefly how they work. Essentially, they are just like the rocket choppas, just like the heavy choppas, in that when they die or explode or whatever you want to call it, I guess they could die in a variety of different ways, they pop out other troops. If we can find a match here, I guess it doesn't like that I'm trying to match with myself. So these dudes, as they die, every single rifleman that dies pops out two new riflemen. So you have, instead of having just, what's that, 28, 56 troops here, we have somewhere, I don't want to do math, we have 3 times that, 162 or whatever that is. One thing to be aware of, see they die, actually, I think they pop out 3, actually. I should actually check that. It actually said it. Look at the guys who pop once your riflemen die, ignore flares completely. So definitely, you need to be aware of that. Now, here's the thing, are people going to be actually barraging their own troops? Because as your troops die, you actually get more troops. So it's going to be interesting to see if people actually use that to their advantage, take their rifles in and intentionally kill them. I kind of think that's not really going to be the thing, but for people, especially those with instant training, the faster those guys die, the more troops you get. So let's see here, 2, so every time they die, 1 turns into 2. It just looked like there was a lot going on there at once. So we're going to upgrade those riflemen. Seems like I'm not sure if they're actually going to outrace the standard heavy meta or not, but they are a nice little twist on riflemen. That's going to be a nice little interesting tidbit. Let's keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to unlock this next engine room just so we can see the changes in the decking. Let's go. Now, how long this season is going to be, I don't quite know off the top of my head, but let me just check. Okay, so it's going to be 20 days. The first day will be August 3rd. The last day will be August 23rd, which means that we're going to have an overlap with the Mega Crab again next month, I assume. Anyways, we've got our 3 engine rooms. Now, this is nice. We've got all sorts of troop damage here. We've got flares to start with. There's a whole bunch of defenses here, though. So one more time, get the heck out of the 2 engine room meta as soon as you possibly can. Otherwise, you're going to be up against people with not only machine guns, but also more machine guns and mortars and sniper towers, and then they can even go and get flamethrowers. So it's going to be a massacre. I am probably going to just get to 3 engine rooms and then come back and get shocks, maybe even come back and get troop damage. Just get the heck out of 2 engine rooms, because the faster you do that, the better off you're going to be. which is usually the case in warships in general. Anyways, then we're going to move along. Dr. Vitamin, I don't know. Like, you know what? I want to see something, because the combination of Dr. Vitamin and these rifles sounds like one that could be very, very difficult to go up against, because Dr. Vitamin's going to be healing them. He's also going to be throwing that, what is that called? Speed serum onto them. And every second that they die, you're getting more troops. So that could be very, very interesting to see. Adding on some troop health, some building damage, lots of gunboat energy. Like, we're already on our second troop damage. Is that third troop damage? Second troop damage, and we're only at 4 engine rooms. So this looks like there's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of fun. Let's keep going. We're going to keep going along this tree. This is not necessarily the route that I recommend, but I just want to get to this next engine room so I can show you the decking. Now, just like the season 2 seasons ago, I guess that would be season blah, 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 11, I guess that would be. This is going to be a bit of a sprint, only 20 days long, so you're going to have to get going as quickly as you possibly can. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to keep going. You'll notice we've already got one proto here. Not just prototype offense, but also prototype defense. Lots and lots of stuff. Let's keep going. Obviously, my tech level is artificially high because we're on the dev build. Sky Shields coming back. Sky Shields were such a welcome change last season, season 12. So having them back is going to be nice. It's also going to be so frustrating. Now, artillery. Where is artillery? We have not passed artillery yet. I don't believe there's artillery. So getting into the artillery, the fact that you have to go out of your way to get it, I like that a lot. It's in the middle of a cul-de-sac. You got to go down, come back up. I like that. Barrage, right dead center. Every single person is going to get barrage, I assume. Where are we at here? Let's keep going. We're going to get we got to get in. Okay, there we go. Into there. I'm going to bring out I'm just going to bring out some engineers. Let's get one more attack going. It's going to take a little while to match, simply because it's going to be me matching against myself, and Warships does not like you matching against the same opponent twice. There's all sorts of counters involved to stop that by the looks of things. So we're going to come back. We're going to hit attack. I'm going to load you know what? I need to upgrade my landing craft so we can get a few more troops in here. Let's get these upgraded. Now, one thing to note, obviously, don't upgrade your gunboat until you get to shocks, because you only need to throw so many flares. We've been through that every single season. We've got engineers, boom, engineers. We've got Dr. Vitamin. Then we're going to go something like this, just for the shock and awe of it. We're going to hit battle, and then I'm going to pause because it's going to take a while to match. Okay, we're back. Now, that was like a minute and a half of matchmaking. Boom Beach does not want you to face the same opponent over and over again, which is a great thing. Now, here's what I want to see. Like, first of all, we're going to drop an engineer, and notice just how far their range has increased. Obviously, they're a little bit slow, not super. The engineer has never been my favorite troop, and I don't think he ever will be, but just the fact that they buffed him a little bit. I haven't actually seen him. There we go. So his range is far more than it was before. Still throws them all the way to the building. Not a huge fan of that, but at least the engineer is buffed a little bit. Look how fast Dr. Vitamin is coming out of the gates. Gonna throw all sorts of buffs. Now, sadly, the other defense does not have nearly enough troops to kill enough of our rifles, and so we're not actually taking as much damage as I would hope. So the Dr. Vitamin's not going to be useful. In order for Dr. Vitamin to be useful, you need to take some damage. So that was not a great example. I apologize. We're going to keep it in there nonetheless. You guys know how Dr. Vitamin works. We just had him for an entire week. Anyways, moving on forward, the cryo bombardiers are awesome. We've played with those a couple weeks ago. Let's unlock that next engine room so we can show off this decking. Now, one thing of note, the decking for 6 engine rooms is the same as 7 engine rooms this time, which is something that Skullcrusher pointed out. Big shout out to him. Which is interesting. It doesn't have to change every engine room. I kind of like the fact that they made them the same. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Let's keep going, because I really want to get into these incinerators. Now, spoiler alert, I like to say spoiler alert lately for whatever reason, the incinerators are not what I had hoped for them to be. I was really hoping they were going to be this super overpowered, shooting 3 ways, massive building. They're not super duper strong. Now, what are those things called? Scorchers are basically the same thing, but these guys go a little bit higher level as far as damage and as far as health goes. Let's try one more match with the Incinerators just to show you how ridiculously strong these guys are. I forgot to hit retreat on my other account. We're going to come back in here. Oh, we've moved up a rank. Yay, us. Fantastic. So, while we're doing that, let's quickly show you what's going to be in these chests, just so you get an idea. We're going to get 15 keys, up to 16, all the way down to 18, up to 20. Come on, up to 25. So that big jump from gold to diamond, you want to get up to tiers as fast as you possibly can, and then up to 32, which is a fairly significant jump, really. But just a reminder, this is a short season, so the faster you can get to the higher rank, the faster you can get to the higher engine room. Going to be massively important. Going to quickly pause here as we try to get this battle in using Incinerators. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, we got a match. Surprise, surprise. It's against me again. Obviously, attacking yourself in warships. Not super duper fun or exciting. Let's drop these ridiculous Incinerators. Like I said, I was really hoping they were going to throw flames in 3 different directions based on those screenshots we had available to us. But they have a ton of health. They do a ton of damage. So anytime there were Scorchers used in previous metas, these guys are going to do exactly what Scorchers did, but better. Dr. Vitamins throwing their vitamins wildly on top of the Incinerators. This season has, what's that, 2 new troops, 4, 5, 6, 7 troops that we haven't had in the past 6 months or so. So there's a lot of things that could go well with this season. Don't entirely know how well it's going to be balanced, but we've got lots of troop health, lots of building health, lots of prototypes, lots of troops. This should be a great season. It's hard to say, though, obviously. We can't, I mean, there's more prototypes down here. There's more mines. This season, I'm really looking forward to, because once we get into the 6 or 7 engine rooms, for those of you who get that far, there's going to be so many defenses and so many different attack meta potentials that it's going to be really interesting, really neat. So if you have any other questions, please do hit me up in the comments. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this super short sneak peek, trying to keep this as quick and concise as I possibly can, but obviously there is just so much in this season. I think this is the most we've had in a season ever, I would think. I mean, there's just so much going on here. We've got so many troops, so many prototypes, and it has a lot of potential. I really give Supercell the props. Now I have to go back one more second. The fact that they put a name on the season, I gave them crap for like 4 or 5 seasons for not having a name. So even having a name as simple as a 1-word, Protos, thank you, Supercell. It means the world to have something as simple as a name for the season. So let me know in the comments if you're excited about this season, if you think it's going to be crap or awesome or don't really care. If I have helped you, entertained you, something, please consider throwing Zmod into your creator code down here in the game. It costs you nothing. It gives me all sorts of warm fuzzies. Anyways, keep booming those beaches. As always, I'm Zmod. Thank you for coming in, commenting, liking, subscribing, all that fun stuff. I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.